Hello everyone, I am Nitika Sridhar, Assistant Vice President at ICRA Limited, and through this podcast I'll be sharing the key highlights of the recently released auction calendar of state government securities for Q1 FY25. On 28 March 2024, the Reserve Bank of India released the auction calendar of market borrowing of state governments for Q1 FY25. As per this calendar, 22 state governments and 2 union territories have indicated to raise Rs 2.5 trillion in Q1 FY25. This implies a YoY growth of about 52% on the back of a similar expansion in Q1 of FY24. Adjusting for redemptions, the net state government issuance in Q1 FY25 is assessed at 1.9 trillion. This is again 60% higher than the actual net issuance of 1.2 trillion in Q1 of FY24. Now, Karnataka, Maharashtra, West Bengal and Uttar Pradesh have indicated combined incremental borrowing of Rs 775 billion in Q1 FY25. This is 90% of the total increase of Rs 863 billion from Q1 FY24. Now, the expected cash flow position of Maharashtra at the beginning of FY25 and the key fiscal indicators of the state government in the first 11 months of FY24, as well as the borrowing pattern of Karnataka and UP in the recent fiscals, cast some uncertainty over the extent of actual borrowing by these states relative to the amount indicated for Q1 FY25. Now, aside from the individual borrowing trends of states, the timing of receipt of the borrowing permission from the Government of India could also impact the quantum of borrowing in Q1 relative to the planned issuance. We also think that the timing of release of the final guidelines for the CAPEX loan for FY25 could impact the borrowing requirement of the states. Now, this is unlike in FY23 and FY24, wherein the CAPEX loan details were available to the states prior to the beginning of this fiscal, which could have helped them in determining their borrowing requirement. Not only that, the actual approved amount under the CAPEX loan scheme till the end of February 2024 was Rs 1.3 trillion, which is higher than Rs 1.1 trillion, which is included in the FY24 revised estimate in the interim budget which was presented in February 2024. So it could be interesting to see if the 1.3 trillion that is included for the CAPEX loan in FY 2025 in the interim budget is changed when the final union budget is presented sometime after the parliamentary elections, the exact timing on date of which is yet to be announced. Overall, for full year FY25, we have assumed that the states will fund 75 to 80% of their fiscal deficit to state government securities. And based on this and the estimated net borrowing limit of 3% of GSDP for FY25, we estimate that the net issuance would be between 7.3 to 7.8 trillion in FY25. This is compared to 7.2 trillion in FY24. With the increase in the state government redemptions to 3.2 trillion in FY25 from 2.9 in FY24, we project that the gross state government issuance to rise to 10.5 to 11 trillion in FY25. Thank you for listening and stay tuned for our upcoming podcast.